Fellow Commanders fans, I have a question for you, and that is, after yesterday's devastating loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, first half of the game was competitive, second half was terrible. We are all left feeling disappointed in our team yet again. The same thing has happened to us over and over and over. Had a little bit of hope, and then we lose the hope, and we go back to feeling this way, disappointed in our team. But my question to you, and that I posed to everyone in my Discord, was, is this the same feeling of disappointment, or is there something different about the disappointment? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and read some of the people's comments answering my question in the Redskins Review Discord. It's free to join and come chat with us if you want. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to read off their answers, explain my answer. And then if you want to leave a comment in the bottom of in the comment section of below this video, I will make a follow-up video reading all of your guys' comments, and we'll try to kind of just go through this again just to kind of see where everyone's at, how we're feeling about this. And in my opinion, there is something a little bit different about this disappointment because we do have Jayden Daniels. But let's get into the question. Like I said, I'm going to read off some of the guys from the Discord and their answers to my question, which was, we're all disappointed again. But is this a different feeling of disappointment, or is it the exact same disappointment you've had in the past years to come, right? Or to go. So first person to answer was Shatley. He said this is a weird disappointment because everyone's dropping like flies to injuries. Terry's about to be on IR. Tunsil is out for who knows how long. They just keep coming. So that's another thing about this season, is that we have had a lot of injuries. So I do understand that some people might look at this as kind of a fluky kind of disappointment because our season never really got going because of injuries. So that was the first person to respond. The second one was PE. He says different because we have a new owner, decent front office, decent coaching, and a franchise QB. The Commanders have built up an infrastructure where we could replace a GM, coach, players. DQ may not be here for a long-term solution, or maybe AP may not be enough. Even JD5 may not win a Super Bowl here, but we have built up the organization. I do agree with that. That's pretty much the same way that I feel. Even though this season has gone awry, and we are 3-5 right now, and who knows what's going to happen. We've had tons of injuries, but I do agree pretty much exactly with PE here. For me, having Jayden Daniels and seeing what he could do on the field since we have seen him, right, is a lot of hope. And quarterback is a huge piece of the puzzle. So that's how I feel it is. I am disappointed, but it's just not the same disappointment. High Life says it's the same disappointment. Jayden hasn't improved from last year, and Cliff isn't forcing him to evolve. The playbook is centered around JD, and I'm worried about what it's going to look like when Cliff leaves, which might be after this year. So I agree with some of this, and some of this I don't agree with. The whole Jayden hasn't improved thing, I think that is, you could say that because he's been injured. That's not an improvement, right? But I do think that when I saw him on the field and seeing him, he can read the field. You know what I mean? He can play from the pocket. He's a good quarterback. He can make reads, and he's a good quarterback. So I just don't think that, just because he's been injured doesn't mean he hasn't improved or he isn't as good as last year. But yet again, the same thing could be said. He isn't as good as last year because he wasn't as hurt last year, right? So I kind of agree and slightly disagree at the same time with this. And then I think this is the last one that I'm going to add in here. So-called Ante, he says, it feels about the same. I guess the difference is you expected better because of expectations were set too high. Are we wrong to feel that way? I don't know. So these are just some of the answers that people were given in the Discord. And like I said, if you want to chime in and kind of express your feelings about this, because we did have a lot of expectations for this year, right? After what we did last year, and we thought, hey, maybe we're going to add some pieces to the puzzle. But then we found out that maybe we're too old, maybe we're too slow, maybe we made some wrong moves, maybe we don't, we were just getting too far ahead of ourselves. The injury bug has really hit us this year, and doesn't seem like it's stopping anytime soon. So yeah, we're back to where we've been. We kind of have been here many, many times, but that's just the question I wanted to pose to you guys, and feel free to add it in the comments below. And I will make a follow-up video reading some of your guys' comments off. That's what I like to do. I just like to sit here and get to know other Redskin fan, Commander fans, and just kind of have a finger on the pulse of the community, you know what I'm saying? It's also why I have this Discord. We talk every single day in there. It's free to join. The link will be in the description. If you don't know what Discord is, it's just a free app where you can chat. You can like do voice chat. We don't really voice chat in there. We just type. You just make a name. You can type. You can say whatever you want, as long as it's not gonna get you kicked. You know what I mean? As long as you're friendly, you're welcome. You can, even if you're not a Commanders fan, you just like football, you can join. We try to sit there and whatever the hottest news is when it comes to the Commanders or the NFL, we all try to beat each other to the punch. And just, yeah, just a good, fun community. So I asked them first. Now, my question to you guys, we've been here many times over the years. Disappointment, right? Looking forward, like, what else do we have to go look forward for the season, right? Unless Jaden Daniels comes back and is very healthy and can play the long stretch of the season and we get a bunch of people back, doesn't look like it, right? So here we are again, disappointed. But is this the same disappointment, even having kind of a quarter? We've seen a guy that is a very good quarterback. If he can stay on the field, like someone else said, new ownership. Does this feel different, or does this feel like the same old disappointment that we used to have? We always had a little bit of hope. That's the thing about this team. They would always give you a little bit of hope, right? Like in the first half of the Chiefs game, it was back and forth, and you're like, oh man, this is kind of a game. And then when I just went away in the second half, it was just gone. So they give you a little bit of hope, and then they take it away. So is this the same exact disappointment or different? Let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.